Most people think they own their credit card. Adorable, your credit card owns you. And today I'm going to prove it. Welcome. I'm CEO Failure. And I have dedicated my entire career to one beautiful mission, keeping you exactly where you are, broke, stressed, swiping, and completely convinced that next month will be different. It won't, but keep believing that. It's my favorite part. Now, before we begin, if this is your first time here and something about this already makes you uncomfortable, good. Follow CEO Failure right now. Because discomfort means I'm already talking about you. And we're just getting started. Let's go back to the day you got the card. You remember it, don't you? The little envelope in the mail? Or maybe they handed it to you across a desk with a smile so warm it felt like friendship. You activated it. You felt something. Not quite power. Not quite freedom. Something in between. A quiet little voice that said, now I can handle things. Now I have a backup. Now I'm covered. That feeling, that exact feeling, that's the product, not the card. The feeling. The bank doesn't sell credit. The bank sells the sensation of security right before they systematically dismantle it. And you bought it, you all buy it. Every single time. Here's the first thing I need you to do to truly maximize your financial destruction. Never, and I mean never, think of the interest rate as a real number. When they told you 22%, you nodded. You moved on. You had things to buy. 22% sounds like a statistic. It doesn't sound like what it actually is. So let me translate it for you in a language that hurts properly. You put $2,000 on the card. You pay the minimum every month, perfectly, on time, like a responsible adult. In 11 years, 11, you will finish paying it off, and you will have paid almost $4,000 total for something that cost $2,000. You paid for it twice, and felt good about it every single month because you never missed a payment. Let that land you thing right, and you still lost. That's not an accident. That's architecture. Now, I want you to meet someone. Her name is Aina. She's 31. She has a job she doesn't love but keeps because the bills don't care about her passion. She got her first card at 24. Good advice. She needed to build credit. Nothing wrong there. But then she got a limit increase. And the bank wrapped it in language that felt like a compliment. Based on your excellent payment pleasure, offer you Anna felt seen Aina frusted. Anna said yes. Then came the second card. Better rewards. Smart move. Someone told her. Then the balance transfer. 0% promotional rate. Genius. She thought. I'm working the system. Aina now has for cards. $11,000 in debt. $200 in savings. She pays every minimum on time, every month, and her credit score is decent and she tells herself she is managing. She is not managing. She is being managed. And here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. Aina is not a cautionary tale. Aina is the median. Aina is the average. Aina is the statistical center of this entire country's relationship with credit cards. Is Aina you? Don't answer out loud. But don't look away either. Tag someone in the comments who has a I'll pay it off next month tab open in their brain right now. You know exactly who that is. Now, let's talk about my absolute favorite invention in the history of personal finance. The minimum payment. I need you to understand something. The minimum payment was not created to help you pay off your debt. It was created to help you stay in your debt comfortably for as long as mathematically possible while you believe you are handling it. It is not fleisch, and it was designed by people who understood human psychology far better than most humans understand themselves. Here is what happens inside your brain when you pay the minimum. The anxiety spikes when the bill arrives. You see the full balance. Your stomach drops. And then you pay the minimum. And the anxiety disappears completely. Your nervous system registers the threat as resolved. The bill is paid. Yo, Mavon. The balance barely moved. But your brain doesn't track the balance. Your brain tracks the action. You acted. Threat resolved. See you next month. This cycle repeats, month after month, year after year. The balance stays. The anxiety keeps resetting. And the bank keeps collecting. Are you anxious? But not at yourself. Now, here's the twist nobody wants to admit. The rewards program, the points, the miles, the cashback, the exclusive benefits, the sense that you are one of the smart ones playing the system, was designed by the same people who designed the minimum payment, same institution, same profit motive, same behavioral science department. They gave you rewards because they already calculated that rewards card users spend significantly. More than non-rewards, the reward may spend more than the reward is worth. Every single time. For almost every single person, the 5% of cardholders who actually profit from rewards programs pay their full balance every month. Never carry debt and use the card exclusively on planned purchases. 5%. The other 95% are funding the 5%'s free flights. Which one are you? I already know the answer. So does the bank. And now, the moment in this video that I need you to actually feel, not just hear. If you have credit card debt right now, you have already paid for that original purchase more than once. That dinner, that trip, that emergency car repair, that thing you bought because you were sad and it felt like self-care. You paid for it when you bought it. And you have been paying for it every month since, in interest, while the original thing has already been consumed, used, worn, forgotten, or broken. You are still paying for something that no longer exists in your life. That is what debt actually is. Not a number on a screen, a ghost. An invoice for something already gone. Seat white tat. Here's the real climax, the thing that separates people who escape this and people who don't. It's not income. People with high incomes carry massive credit card debt. It's not intelligence. Some of the smartest people I know are trapped in minimum payment cycles. It is one single moment. The moment a person decides to look at the exact number, not approximately, not roughly. The exact balance, the exact interest rate, the exact number of years the minimum payment keeps them trapped. That moment, that stomach-dropping, deeply uncomfortable, almost physical moment of total clarity is the turning point for everyone who ever got out. The bank spends enormous resources keeping you away from that moment. The app is designed to show you the minimum due, not the total cost. The statement buries the amortization. The language is designed to feel manageable, comfortable, not urgent. Because urgency is the only thing that makes people act. And a customer who acts as a customer, they might lose. They need you comfortable. They need you numb. They need you scrolling past the balance without really reading it. Are you numb? Here is what you actually do with this card. No exceptions. No negotiations with yourself. No, just this once. The moment you carry a balance, you are paying rent on money that was never yours, at a rate a loan shark would respect. You treat the credit limit like a cliff edge, not a budget. You use rewards only on purchases you had already planned with money you already have. You learn your interest rate the way you know your own name, instantly, without thinking. And every single time you feel the urge to swipe for an emotional reason. You put the card somewhere physically inconvenient and you wait 24 hours. That friction alone will save you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. The credit card is a tool. A hammer can build a house or go through a wall. The difference is never the hammer. And here is the uncomfortable thought I'm leaving inside your head tonight. The bank knows more about your spending behavior than you do. They have your data, your patterns, your emotional triggers, your weak moments. They know when you sprawl holidays during stress. They have studied you specifically, and they built a product around what they found. You are not a customer to them. You are a data set with a credit limit. The question is not whether the machine exists. The question is whether you are running it, or it is running you. CEO failure out. And remember, I want you to stay exactly where you are. The fact that you're still thinking about this after the video ends is very bad for my business. Very bad indeed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you about the part of this story that nobody in the financial industry will ever put in an advertisement. The average person carrying credit card debt is not living beyond their means on luxury. They are surviving groceries, gas, a medical bill that showed up without warning, a car repair that couldn't wait. The credit card filled a gap that income didn't cover, and then the interest made the gap permanent. They didn't get into debt chasing designer bags. They got into debt because the month was longer than the paycheck. And the card was right there, patient, available, smiling. And then the interest rate turned a temporary problem into a structural one. This is the part that divides opinion every single time I say it, so say it in the comments. Do you think credit card companies should be allowed to charge 20+% interest to people who use the card for necessities? Go ahead. I want to see the argument. Because half of you think the system is predatory and half of you think personal responsibility is the only answer. Both of you are partially right. And that tension is exactly why nothing ever changes. Here's one final number before I go. The credit card industry collected over $105 billion in interest and fees in a single year. Not from gambling addicts, not from reckless spenders. From regular people with regular jobs who carried a balance they intended to pay off and didn't quite get there. $105 billion built on the gap between intention and reality. Between I'll handle it next month and the math of compound interest that never takes a day off. CEO failure helped build that number. And I couldn't be more proud. The machine keeps running. The only question left, and I genuinely want you to answer this one, is whether you're finally ready to step outside it. Or whether you'll close this video, check the minimum payment, and feel okay about it. I know which one most of you will choose. The bank knows too. That's why we're both still here.